World at War. This game kicks ass. Seriously, I mean, after all of these years, I still come back to play this masterpiece from time to time. Either by fighting in the Pacific Theater, or, trying to play the multiplayer. But more often than not, I'm coming back to play the legendary Zombies mode, which is what we're talking about today. Given how it's spooky month, I'd figured it is a good time to take a look at all of the maps within the World at War's Nazi zombie mode. And I picked World at War specifically to look at this month because it's actually the first video game I ever played. And specifically within the game, I first played zombies. Which, by the way, really makes me appreciate I was born the year I was born in. I mean, can you imagine if my first video game was fucking Fortnite? So without wasting any more time, let's jump into the very first zombies map ever made, Nacht Der Untoten.
Well, I just shit my pants.
Alright, so here it is, Nacht Der Untoten, the very first COD Zombies map. Obviously this means that this is the map that laid the foundation for the Zombies game mode that we all know and love today. First off, barriers. They help stall the zombies attempting to break into the building that you're trapped in, and they even help gain a few extra points. Depending on how you play, you're probably going to want to keep the zombies out as much as you can. They're pretty much your only defense against them. Well, other than, you know, the weapons. Speaking of weapons, wall buys. Scattered across the building, you'll find these chalk outlines of weapons that you can purchase off the wall. If the gun costs more, it'll probably kick ass. If it costs less, then it might suck. Occasionally, after killing a zombie, you'll be rewarded with a power-up. Each one of these power-ups serve their own purpose. Insta-kill causes zombies to be killed instantly with any attack for 30 seconds. Bit on the nose there. Double points means you earn double the amount of points you would normally. Okay, I'm not doing my job very well here. Max ammo restores the ammo in both of your weapons, and your grenades if you used any. And lastly, we have the nuke, which in this particular map, sucks dick. See, a nuke can come in clutch if you happen to be in a tight spot and need time to recover, but you lose all potential points. This changes in later maps, but the nuke in Nacht doesn't give you any points when you pick it up. To get more weapons, you'll need to buy doors and debris. There are only 3 doors in this map, and just like any other building, when you open doors, it opens more rooms. Who the fuck wrote this script? I would say don't ever buy this couch, but I'm pretty sure someone figured out a good strat that requires you to open this debris. So, I don't know, you do you, boo. Finally, we've got the mystery box. And this box has torn families and friendships apart. And I know what you're asking. How could a fictional box do such a thing? Well, that's because, ladies and gentlemen, it's a glorified slot machine. You can gamble your life savings away either to get a weapon that's ass, average, or awesome. Ass weapons include the Panzer Shrek and this monster cock of a sniper, the PTRS. Then you've got the average weapons like the STG-44 or the sawed-off shotgun. Oh, by the way, with a grip, you know, just in case. And then of course you got the awesome guns, FG-42, Thompson, and then you even got a tier above that reserved for the ray gun. Damn if that isn't the sexiest thing I've ever seen.
Damn girl, are you a microwave? Because
for me personally, this is the best weapon I could get out of the box. It looks cool, it sounds cool, and it's pretty powerful. You kinda have to be careful with it though, because the splash damage on the weapon is a little too much. You could easily kill yourself if you shoot a zombie that's too close to you. This actually leads me to a point that I don't think I've ever seen brought up before, and that's just how good the sound design is for this game. The ray gun alone takes the gold medal in sound design. The weapon's firing sound and then the sizzling of the bodies being fried by the ray gun. And that reload sound. Other sounds outside of the ray gun are fantastic as well, just like the pop and gush from a headshot. The jingle of the mystery box. Rebuilding a barrier. And of course, the round change music. It's all really great stuff. It helps build the atmosphere of the map. The map can get a little quiet, so to fix this, there's a radio in the same room with the mystery box. It mostly plays tracks from the campaign, but there's also an exclusive track on there as well. Again, great stuff. And that's honestly it for Nacht. Most of its actual features are just gameplay elements that are now standard for zombie maps today. And there's nothing really wrong with that because, again, it's the first map. It's very simplistic in its design, and I actually think that's a very good thing, because it's incredibly easy to just pick up and play. It's definitely the map I'd use to introduce someone to the COD Zombies game mode, because later maps have you running around doing some crazy tasks just so you can pay your taxes or something. But here, you have one objective: survive. Overall, Nacht is a bit dated with its lack of features, but can still result in some intense and fun games.
Here they come! They're everywhere! Shit! We need to get these doors open! Don't leave me! Door stuck! Door stuck!
Verruckt, the second Zombies map ever made. It was part of the first map pack in World at War's DLC cycle, and it's pretty good. Starting with the positives, let's talk about the kick-ass new additions to the map. First off, an actual objective to pursue. In order to gain access to some of the new content in the map, you'll have to turn on the power. And in order to do so, you have to travel all the way to the other side of the asylum. It's a wonderfully fun and simple concept, and it's become a staple to the game mode. Oh, but Clover, what does the power turn on, you don't ask? Well, by far the most helpful and coolest thing it activates are the Perk-a-Cola machines. Each perk gives you an advantage in some way. Quick Revive allows you to revive players faster, so it's utterly useless in solo play. For now. Double Tap increases your rate of fire on almost all weapons. Speed Cola increases your reload speed. And Juggernaut increases your health, so you can take more bitch slaps from zombies. These are wonderful additions to the game mode. They increase your survivability, and they're just so damn charming to look at. They even have their own individual jingles. There are now also traps in the map. When activated, they block 2 doorways with a wall and electricity, so any zombie that walks through will get zapped and die. Depending on which side you pull the switch, you'll either block off a small portion of the map, or nearly the entire map. These traps are pretty fun and hella useful if you don't have a weapon that's doing enough damage to kill the zombies. Finally, the power opens this door in the middle of the asylum, so you'll be able to make a full circle around the building. But more importantly, you'll be able to reunite with your friends, if you have any to begin with. You can also reunite with them if you just loop around to wherever side they're on. If you're playing with, let's say, 3 others, then you and another player will spawn on one side of the door at the start of the match, and the other 2 players will spawn on the other side. I actually really like this. It provides this intensity to the map that you can't really get with any other map in the franchise, because they never did this again. Okay, well, I mean, they did do it in Exo Zombies, but let's not. Now, you're trying to be extra careful because you're in a smaller space and have less players to rely on. I would show you footage of this, but I didn't play with other players for this video. You see, it's because I'm trying to be authentic here. You know, when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to play on Xbox Live. okay? I'm trying to feel nostalgic here. Actually, I remember this one time when I got in trouble for playing on Xbox Live because my sister tattled on me. Fucking bitch. Anyways, there are also new weapons added to the map. Bouncing Betties, which help control doorways and barricades. They are also really fun to look at when you have a lot of them piled up in one area. And of course, the legendary PPSH. This gun has an incredibly fast rate of fire and just kicks so much ass. Combined with double tap, you'll lose ammo faster than an Instagram thought loses her virginity, but it'll shred zombie ass like crazy. Then we have some small things. For one, the nuke actually does give you points this time, and instead of these lifeless texts at the bottom of the screen indicating what power-up has been picked up, instead they've replaced them with these small icons on the bottom. Yeah, pretty cool if you ask me. The map also features a song performed by Elena Siegman. God, I'm really sorry if I butchered that name. It's pretty damn catchy and easy to activate. All you have to do is flush this toilet 3 times and boom, you're jamming. It's a great song to have in the background while you're killing zombies. To wrap up the positives here, this map sort of introduces a story to the players. In certain rooms of the asylum, you can find this crazy writing on the wall. They're pretty fucking creepy and interesting, but the thing that caught my eye in particular is this writing of numbers here. According to the Call of Duty fandom wiki, this is actually a date written backwards, and that date refers to an event when a meteor exploded 12 miles above Chicoria, Pennsylvania, in the United States. And the 921 is actually a Bible verse, which reads, "For death is come up into our windows, and is entered into our palaces, to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets." And since we're on the topic of the map's detail, let me just say it's incredible. The panicked screams of the insane, or a chair that plays some spooky ass sounds. And finally, those crazy noises that play when the power is turned on. Not to mention the building itself is surrounded by a forest, completely set on fire. Point is, this map is a distinct and creepy vibe, and I love it. Now on to the negatives. I can't think of any. Again, with these being the first maps, I have to cut them a bit of slack. The only negatives I can really give it are just ones presented in every map, thanks to the game itself. Like the awkward knifing, or the way zombies pull you in when they attack, or how fast they can hit. Maybe this small room in the back, but then again, it's actually a fun place to camp because of how risky it is. I got it. Springfield. It sucks. And swallows. It's just a shit weapon. Okay, that's it. Next map.
Oh, those don't sound like freak bags. Stay away from my vodka!
Shi No Numa. The map released alongside Map Pack 2, and I gotta be honest, out of the 4 maps presented in this game, this one just might be my favorite. And I know, Dear Reese is Dear Reese, and we'll get to that, but just let me explain, alright? I really like this map's layout. You have your main building in the middle here, which acts as a sort of hub area, and then you choose which path you want to take to go deeper within the swamp. Typically, you would choose a path that has the mystery box. Oh yeah, so I forgot to mention in Verruckt that the mystery box now moves around after you've spun it enough times, so I'll take the L on that one. But here in Shi No Numa, there's a light indicating where the box is. The box always spawns on the bottom floor of the building you spawn in, but when it moves, it'll move to the end of one of the 4 paths, so you'll probably venture out to whichever path now has the mystery box. The paths themselves are kind of the same. You'll have a side with water and then without water. The only exception to this is the doctor's quarters. It's an entire path with water, and then there's a few small bits of land here and there. The buildings at the end of the paths are really fun to hold out in. They tend to have just 2 or 3 barricades, and then a doorway with a shocker trap from Verruckt. They also hold the returning perk machines.
But can you chug a sparkling water and not burp? Oh my gosh! What do I do?
They're now randomized, so you'll never know which perk you'll get unless you've already found 3. Then the 4th will just be whichever perk is left. Visually, the map has a great atmosphere. It seriously does capture the feel of being in Shrek's swamp. We're also not fighting against Nazi zombies anymore. Instead, we're fighting against Imperial Japanese army zombies. It's a nice breath of fresh air. They also walk funny.
Zach, stop! Zach, stop!
We also have a couple of new weapons. The Type 100, which can be acquired from the box or purchased off the wall in the storage building. But more importantly, we have a brand new wonder weapon, the Wunderwaffe DG2. And god damn it, is this gun incredible. Sick looks, powerful as hell, and of course it sounds awesome. The Wunderwaffe, or the Wonder Waffle if you're an epic gamer,
What the hell is a Wonder Waffle?
is a great addition to the map, and a given because of how many basic ballistic weapons we have. It's nice to have something new and different. Speaking of new and different, we've got a new enemy type, the Hellhounds. Every 5 to 7 rounds there will be a Hellhound round. This is a great way to shake up the gameplay. The Hellhounds themselves are fast as hell and relentless, so oftentimes you're just camping in a corner with a shotgun trying to get through the round. After every Hellhound is killed, you'll be rewarded with a max ammo. We also have the best trap in the entire franchise, the Flogger. Just watch.
Alright, here we go. just look at them go. Bye-bye.
We also got a new song performed by Elena called The One. Just activate this phone and it's turned on.
Hello? Is this Among Us? Imposter? Is this the imposter from Among Us?
And of course, the story continues to progress. We actually have characters this time. In the previous maps, we didn't really have characters. In Nacht, you played as these nameless soldiers that didn't even talk. And in Verruckt, they had names, apparently, and they did talk, but they just said some of the most basic shit. They didn't really have much of a personality. But now in Shi No Numa, we have 4 new characters to carry us through this story. Tank Dempsey is an American Marine who loves women and a good gun. Nikolai Belinsky is a Red Army soldier who is obsessed with vodka and killing his many wives. Takio Masaki, who honors his emperor with each zombie he kills. And finally, Dr. Edward Richtofen, who is a mad scientist that just might be gay. All 4 of these characters are great in their own way, and can even make you laugh sometimes, especially Nikolai.
Heal, you bitch!
Outside of the characters, the map can tell a story through its environment. A soldier hung by his own parachute in the spawn room, a transmission that can be found that was meant for that soldier,
R-4808N 37 14 115
115 written in chalk, a piece of paper with Die Glock and Der Riese written on it. And remember how in Verruckt we saw that list of numbers that refers to a meteor? Well, guess what's in the map? Bam! A meteor. Shooting it will cause your character to say something about it.
I wonder if that rock brought those freak bags.
Tunguska is written in chalk in one of the buildings that the zombies spawn in. It refers to the Tunguska event, which was this massive megaton explosion caused by, you probably guessed it, a meteor airburst of small asteroid or comet. I really like how all of this makes you want to explore the map. You're trying to keep a sharp eye for any secrets that help piece together this story that, at the time, was new. But now we move on to the negatives, and this one is a bit weird, because I think it can be considered a good and a bad thing. So the map has this strange bug in solo play, where you'll have a limit to how many zombies that'll spawn in the map. According to the fandom wiki, exactly 24 zombies will be able to spawn. So you could wipe out a full round of zombies with one clip of the Wonderwaff. See, I can see how you can turn this into some kind of friendly competition, pass around the controller to see who can get a higher round than the rest, but at the same time, I could also see how boring it can get. While I was playing to get some footage for the map, I remember feeling blue-balled when the rounds would end way too quickly, all because I picked up a nuke or something. Overall, Shi No Numa is still a really fun map to play, mainly because of how fun it is to hold out in those small buildings, but also because of how kick-ass the new characters are, the Wonderwaff, and its continued storytelling through its environments. Der Riese. What hasn't been said about this map? It's Der fucking Riese. You know the drill. Released with Map Pack 3, and this is the final zombies map within World at War. We're in the home stretch here, friends. Let's get started. We've got another new objective. After you flip the switch to the power, you can travel around the map linking these teleporters to the mainframe at spawn. It's a very simple task. Press F here, press F there, repeat 2 more times and you're done. But this unlocks by far the best new addition to this map, the Pack-a-Punch. This machine allows you to upgrade your weapons for 5,000 points, and it's just so much fun to use. Certain weapons can change completely. The M1 carbine, a semi-automatic rifle, turns into a fully automatic rifle if you upgrade it. Then you have the M1 Garand with the grenade launcher. You can now shoot 3 grenades in one clip.
Damn it, I was having too much fun with this.
I really love how this piques your curiosity. I remember when I was a kid, I would pack literally every weapon I would see. Finding out the Colt would shoot grenades after you upgraded it, it was like the greatest discovery of my life. Pack-a-punching weapons also alters their appearance, and they look sexy as hell. I mean, look at that shit. Some weapons even have an exclusive detail to them. The MG42 has this small dark blue patch on its drum, and the ray gun and the flamethrower have glowy bits to them. Moving on from the Pack-a-Punch, we of course got some new weapons, and they're fantastic. The bowie knife, which is really effective in getting some points before round 10. After round 10, however, it takes 2 stabs to kill a zombie, but it's still useful against the hellhounds for a while. We also have the monkey bomb. When thrown, zombies will be attracted to the monkey for a few seconds before the monkey explodes, taking out a few zombies around it. Love these new weapons, especially the monkey bomb, which can save your sweaty ass if you happen to be in trouble. In terms of story, the map takes a huge leap forward. There are now radios scattered across the map that inform the player of the history with this mysterious Group 935, Dr. Maxis, and Samantha Maxis. It even tells us just how the hellhounds were made. They even added character bios to read on console versions of the game. You also have environmental storytelling when you start asking questions like, what the hell is the ether? What are these orange dots on the moon? And whose legs are these? You even have a short little hide-and-seek game that you play with Samantha. Shooting this panel outside the map here will start a game of hide-and-seek where you'll have to shoot 3 toys scattered across the map. You're not rewarded with anything, but you do start to figure out that Samantha's in control of the undead.
Yo, this Samantha girl's kind of fucked in the head.
Wrapping up the positives here with some small things. The sun in the map is amazing. Speed Cola now allows you to rebuild barriers faster. Hellhounds will now spawn alongside zombies in higher rounds, and this spices up the gameplay and keeps you interested. Finally, we have some fast travel on the map. I forgot to mention the Carpenter power-up. It rebuilds all the barriers in the map after you picked it up. Whoops. The teleporters that I mentioned earlier, believe it or not, teleport you. Whenever you use one, you'll end up back at spawn, and then there's a chance that a power-up will spawn after use. Also, real quickly here, I just want to mention that that piece of paper that said Die Glock on it in Shi No Numa, well, Die Glock is translated to the bell in English, is actually a purported top-secret Nazi scientific technological device, secret weapon, or Wunderwaffe, which is wonder weapon in English. And look at that, doesn't that look familiar? Now we are moving on to the negatives, and unfortunately we have a lot more to talk about here than any other map. The most glaring problem is the infamous Wunderwaffe glitch, and I don't believe it's in Shi No Numa, but I might be wrong. So if you happen to shock yourself with a Wunderwaffe and you have Jug, well, you can kiss that perk goodbye, because even though it shows that you still have it, you don't. Even after 12, almost 13 years, this has never been fixed. And that sucks, because now I just don't want to use the Wunderwaffe because of how deathly terrified I am of fucking myself over with it. We also have some nitpicky things, like the lighting being odd on the PC version. Look, here's what it looks like on the Xbox, and here's what it looks like on the PC. You can even see that in the game on the PC. The fuck? Now, with all this in mind, Dear Riese is still a stupidly fun map to play. I mean, come on now, who doesn't love chilling on that damn catwalk? The addition of the Pack-a-Punch is a welcome improvement of the gunplay, the new weapons that'll now make their appearance in future titles, and once again, taking the story further and having us speculate what's next. And that's it. That's every map in World at War's zombie mode. If you're even remotely curious about this game, I'd say pick it up. I would recommend the PC port of the game because you get every map free and with the ability to download and play custom zombie maps and mods. But be warned, recent Steam copies of the game have had this problem with creating a profile in the game. Hell, even my fucking copy has this problem. Originally, I had this game family shared with me, so I played it with no problems. But when I bought it from my account, I could no longer use any of my profiles. I was going to briefly talk about custom zombies, but the game won't even let me launch one. There are workarounds to this using third-party software, but if you want to play the game traditionally, I would recommend the console version of the game. Or maybe a physical copy of the PC version. I'm not totally sure if that'll work, but I suppose it's worth a try. Alright guys, so I just wanted to say a few things before I end the video. So, Tom Kane, the guy who voiced Takio, he unfortunately had a stroke a few months ago, so he's unable to do voice work anymore. So I just want to take some time to appreciate his work on these games, because he's voiced Takio all the way up to Black Ops 4. And he didn't just voice Takio, of course, he's voiced Yoda in a lot of Star Wars stuff. He was Commissioner Gordon in Arkham Asylum, and I think he even did the grunts and noises for the characters in the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga. So, he's an absolute legend. I really, really wish him the best. And I also just wanted to say thank you to anybody who watched this video, because it took a lot longer than I thought it would to make. I really thought it would only take max like 2 days, but it took a full week. So, okay. I had a lot of sleepless nights working on this, but I'm proud of it. I think it was definitely worth it. So, again, just thank you so much for watching this, and have a happy Halloween. Take care.